yes. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I bring you the one and only Snute. Yes. Was that a character in Monty Python? I can't quite remember. Whatever the case, he is Snute, and he is in the blue trunks, and he is playing Zerg right here on this map, which is, I believe, the Antigua Shipyard versus his opponent, Imba Strelok. As opposed to balanced Strelok, this is very much the imbalanced Strelok. He's from Team Imba FXO. He is in the red trunks, and he is playing Terran to the south. Alright, well. I'm interested to see how this one goes. A little bit of TVZ action between these two. Quite a lot of lesser-known players, but as we've seen, with Harpner, for instance, you might not know who Harpner is, but turns out he's kind of good. Yeah, he's pretty good at what he does. Oh yes, very good indeed. Impressive play from Harpner, most impressive. Whatever the case, Strelok is a scary opponent for Snute. We'll see what Snute decides to do against him. I did not check which league. To be fair, these are all replays, so checking the league is a little tricky. But I don't really like to check the league before I start because it does kind of... it biases me against a player. I think, oh, right, well, this guy's Silver League and, you know, this guy's Grandmaster, so we know who's going to win here. That kind of spoils the surprise. Snute with a... was that a 13 hatch? Yes, it was a 13 hatch. Huh. Well, there you go. Snute with an extremely greedy 13 hatchery. There you go. A little bit quicker than 14, I suppose, but doesn't do quite as well in terms of the economy. But hey, whatever. Not too big a difference, I suppose. Strelok right here with the barracks. Nice little wall off coming up. Is Strelok going to get greedy against this guy? I have to wonder. Strelok is known for a couple of things. Tanks and drops. Strelok likes to drop multiple locations simultaneously. If he has tanks, he will also drop them. He can do really awesome tank elevation play and tank drop micro. He likes to attack 3 locations at once, if possible. He likes to stretch his opponent's multitasking abilities to the limit. We'll see if Snute can keep up with him in that regard. Snute scouting. Doesn't find anything just yet. He sees the Automaton 2000, potentially a threat. The Zerg will have to assimilate it later. The Overlord makes notes. You have to wonder where the Overlord will actually make notes. Do you see a notepad? It could be hidden there. It could be a very small notepad. Or perhaps he's just writing on his hand. In lipstick, perhaps. Who knows? I'm not one to judge. The Overlord can do whatever he pleases. Got a reactor coming up right here for Strelok. Is this going to be a swap around based on the timings of both? I would say that that's quite likely. Could be looking for some early Red Flame Hellion play. Blue Flame Hellions, of course, have fallen a little bit out of favor because, well, they're not ridiculously overpowered anymore. But Hellion play is still very popular. Red Flame is quite effective as well. Going to be a Roach Warren right here for Snute. A very smart play, considering he hasn't scouted his opponent at all. But he goes for the Roach Warren anyway. I like it. I like it a lot. That means that he's going to have something that can deal with those Hellions quite nicely. So, some fortuitous play perhaps from Snute, or just plain smart, one way or the other. There's quite a lot of lava here for Snute. Yeah, so I notice his mineral count's getting quite high. He's been missing injects as well. It's a little bit unfortunate for him. There we go, 6 roaches now on the way. He can spawn lava, but right now he's just sort of having a little bit of a jog around the place. We're going to see some injecting. There we go. There's the inject right there from Snute. And here come the Hellions. Only a couple in the mix at the moment. A few roaches out in order to deal with that. They're going to be off creep, which is kind of going to suck. Strelok attacks them. not usually the optimal thing. We've got 6 roaches right here going for an initial push. And at the moment, Strelok actually only has Hellions, which is not so great, but he is able to get a Marauder out. The question is, can he get enough Marauders out? It's a little bit of a jog across the size of this particular map. It is rather large. There'll be Speedlings to follow that one up right there for Snute, but the attack from Strelok has been successfully blunted simply because Snute actually has roaches. Strelok's going to attempt to delay this attack as much as possible. He knows that he doesn't have the forces to deal with it. 6 roaches is enough to beat down a single Marine, a few Hellions, and a Marauder. But there are more Marauders coming out. Doesn't have Concussive Shell. Doesn't have Stim or anything, in fact, and Snute may indeed even force a lift right here. He's going to be able to pressure the supply depot. Looking to try and take out the reactor as well. Snute needs to decide what he wants to attack right here. He's spreading his fire all over the place. Snute losing a good number of units as well. Looks like Strelok's going to be able to hold this quite nicely. And Snute not really able to do a huge amount of damage. Taking out a Hellion and an SCV for the cost of 3 Roaches. I'm not liking it. Marauders continue to pursue as well. Roaches are really, really slow. And I think Snute has utterly screwed that one up, honestly. Strelok with an excellent defense. Hellions evidently do counter Roaches. Another Roach on the way to do what exactly? I'm kind of curious. And now there's big Hellion force on the way. The question is, has Snute had time to prepare for it? He's got 1 Spine Crawler up the front. Those 2 Spine Crawlers are not going to be finished in time. The Red Flame Hellions could sneak straight past that if they so desire. He'll probably lose 1 as he goes through it. It really depends which one gets hit. The longer he waits, of course, the more Spine Crawlers will be available, and the Queen now creating this partial wall-off. So Strelok is not going to be able to do that, but what he can do is deny the 3rd. There's no way that a drone can get through there without being incinerated. More Roaches and more Zerglings will be forced in order to deal with this. It's actually got a little bit of dance going on right there. Very impressive. Not quite as impressive as the dances that were on last night, however, as Marine King said. Marine King did a little bit of dancing of his own in that game. Micro are rather exceptional against Mana in the show match that we saw last night. But yeah, apparently they have dancers on stage all the time, which is extremely distracting. Supposedly Axslav was watching with great interest earlier. I can hardly blame him. He's got his priorities in the right place. Alright. Very small force of Zerglings is moving out. The question is, what will it be able to do? It could easily nail down those 2 Marauders, actually. Did Snute spot them? I guess he did. That's unfortunate. That could have been a couple of free Marauders right there. He'll take some Marines in the process. Cuts off some of the reinforcements coming in for Strelok's contain over here. Very soft contain. Enough to stop expansion, but nothing more than that. Looking to try and get something a little bit harder. In comes Snute into the mineral line, able to get some scouting information. He sees that his opponent is building tanks. Not able to do any real economic damage. Creep continues to spread over here, and Strelok not able to actually deny that. I believe he was able to take down 1 creep tumor there. He's actually scanning for it. Kind of surprising considering, and forcing a cancel on that one. Cancelled creep tumor. I don't recall the last time I've ever seen that before. And why would you cancel a creep tumor? Well, there you go. Maybe it was out of spite, who knows. Creep tumors don't actually cost all that much, needless to say. They don't actually cost a damn thing. Just a cooldown, folks, just a cooldown. Continued pressure comes in from Strelok as this soft contain is in effect. We've got Banelings plus Baneling speed on the way. A lot of droning up behind this line. I want to say that Snute's drone count is not as high as I would have expected. Been forced to build a lot of units. A lot of Spine Crawlers as well used. Now redeploying, and Snute with a sufficient count to try and deny this soft contain, break it out there. He's got a drone out in the process and is now able to get down that hatchery. Right about now. There you go. In the meantime, Roaches continue to pressure these Hellions to break his way out of there. And a nice denial there by Snute. He's got a Roach and an Overlord stopping that 3rd from coming up. Now let's have a look at the production tab. What we'll see is the Medevacs coming up and the Siege Tanks. Very classic play right here from Strelok. Elevation tank play, tank drops, multiple drops, and of course contains. It's the order of the day. More barracks being brought in order to reinforce this. At this point, there is really not a huge amount that Snute can actually do. Snute, interestingly enough... Yeah, let's try that one again. Interestingly enough, deciding not to go for any kind of Mutalisk play at this point. So he's more interested in getting expansion in a rather large ground army, which is somewhat vulnerable to the amount of tanks that Strelok tends to build. The natural response to this, I feel, would be Mutaplay. And now Strelok beginning his drops. Going to start to stretch the multitasking ability of Snute. In the meantime, Infestation Pit working on the Pathogen Glands upgrade. A few Infestors on the way as well. Potentially risky drop right here for Strelok. Could be easily caught out by a fungal growth and eliminated before it's able to do anything. Not liking Snute's map vision, honestly. He's got vision over here, he's got a little bit of vision here, but this area is a little bit vulnerable. As it turns out, it looks like, is Strelok going to go past that Overlord? It might not. It's a possibility. Snute now rolling out, and as is Strelok. Strelok going to secure that 3rd. It's going to take a little bit of time to deploy, unfortunately. A lot of creep spread there to deny that from happening. Always nice. Now the question is, where did the drop go? Certainly not at the back. There it is. little bit of a delayed attack, and this is what we expect to see from Strelok. Attacks from multiple fronts. What he's going to do is he's going to try and force the third, I would imagine, at this point, and simultaneously drop on the main. There you go. There's the quick elevation of those Marines past that line. It's going to force the Zerglings, and a couple of Burrowed Infestors coming in here. I'll have a look at the drop over there in a moment. I just want to see what these Burrowed Infestors are going to do, mostly because I find them extremely entertaining. Moving out of position, there's the pop, and there's the fungal growth right there, and raining Infested Terrans down, shutting that one down. In the meantime, however, Strelok has done a huge amount of economic damage here. Gonna have a look at the units lost tab in a minute as Strelok attempts to micro his way out of this pickle. There goes the fungal growth and the follow-up with the roaches in order to clean up this drop. Down goes everything. This is the damage that was done. Strelok kills 17 workers, a very significant amount. But where the balls did Snute pull all of these drones from? Just bear in mind, a couple of minutes ago, Snute was on about 40 drones. He now has 80. What the ball? Freaking Zerg. Where were you hiding all of those drones, Snute? Was it up your sleeves? Was it in a large hat? It's a possibility. It'll be a very goddamn large hat to fit 80 drones in. 83 drones. And now Snute securing the gold and looking for some infestor action. This is turning out to be quite the entertaining game. I'm liking it. A little bit more entertaining than MC versus the Silver Leaguer, I've got to say. Snute now pushing forward and looking to do some damage. Sneaky, evil infestors. Sensor tower coming up, but there we go. There's the fun missile turret. It's just lobbing this single infested Terran over there. Oh, big fungal. Can he get another one? Can he do the damage he needs? Not quite. A single Marine taken out. He needs another fungal right there, and another one. And that's a lot of Marines are going to go down for that one. It's a good infestor play right here by Snute. Here comes some infested Terrans. However, they're going to get cleaned up quite quickly before the tanks can end up killing each other. Tanks are very violent, masochistic individuals. They have a tendency of blowing each other up like that. Strelok right now, let's have a look at his economy. Not quite up to the part that Snute is at. Once Snute gets his gold as well, with that many drones and that much saturation, he's going to get a lot of minerals very fast indeed. Still no sign of mutas. He's going straight for hive tech. This could be the Infestor Ultralisk style we've seen a lot from Stefano. He has mixed quite a lot of roaches in there. And using the Infestors now to delay this push from Strelok. No drop play coming from Strelok either. Decent damage being done. There's the scan to take out another Infestor. A couple of Zerglings charging, and not an awful lot to really be done there, unfortunately. And this gold is now under significant threat. Strelok now with the pickup, looking for, once again, attacks on multiple fronts. But there's two more expansions coming up right here for Snute. Big, big economic play from him. Here come the sneaky Infestors. A couple of Infested Terrans dropped into the middle of that big tank line. Little bit of damage coming in. Takes down one tank thanks to sneaky play, but he's traded the gold expansion for that. A drop passing over this expansion right here, choosing not to try and deny it, going right for the main. He's going to spot the hive tech as well. And look at this. Attacks over here, attacks pushing over here, an attack over here, an attack over here. Oh, look, it's Strelok. The most stressful player to cast you can possibly imagine. Where do we put the screen? Who knows? Strelok with a little bit of economic harassment, not able to do too much damage, but now pouring in a huge contain. But a big fungal takes out 1, 2, and 3 tanks. Lots of infested Terrans coming into the mix as well. Can he clean up all the tanks? Ah, the tank survives on 4 hit points. Oh my, that's a lot of overlords getting taken out as well. Big supply block problems coming in right here for Snute as he attempts to clean up this and loses this base in the process. There's another fungal to follow that one up. Snute defending this pretty damn well. But of course, the supply blocks really limiting the amount of units it can get out there. Strelok trying to build up some more and elevating, well, 2 Marines. Not exactly all that much. Hey, free medevacs. Oh yes, Snute is loving that one. There's the fungal, there's the follow-up, and I do not agree with that decision there by Strelok. Honestly, that was a little bit of a throwaway. Nuclear missile on the way up for Strelok because, hey, let's make this game a little bit more exciting. Strelok has denied this expansion, but Snute's got this one. And he's getting that one up quite nicely. He's not mining from it, though. It's a little bit risky. Going for the drone transfer. No, he doesn't spot it. He doesn't have what he needs to see that. A very risky play. Nuke on the way up right now for Strelok. In come yet more sneaky evil infestors. Right now, Strelok with a nice defensive line. He's only sitting on 3 bases, though. His opponent has 4. could potentially secure some more. Strelok looking for yet another drop. Snute already ready, prepared for the interception. A little bit of surround right there. Able to do some good damage. That medevac taking significant losses, realizing that it can't stick around. Strelok now trying to get out of the way with those 2 injured medevacs. Not really a lot of units available there to do anything. Once again, another grab. This infestors... Managing to grab the ghost before it gets in there for its nonsense nuke. Another Ghost Academy coming up. The mass nuke strategy coming in. There's another drop from Strelok. Medevac instantly eliminated. This defense from Snute is excellent. And now going for Ultralisks. Very much transitioning into the Stefano style right now. He mixed some roaches in, which is not all that common for Stefano. He used to go Ling Infester, usually transitioning then into Ultra. Cloaked Ghosts moving out. Couple of what? 141 Zerglings now on the field for Snute. Entirely standard. Nuclear launch detected. Snute immediately pulls off the line, though. He knows exactly what's coming. If he moves the Overseer in there, he can kill the Ghost as well. Nuke coming down, and it will kill one solitary drone. A little bit of sniping action going on there. More nukes on the way. Strelok attempting to build another. Snute is unable to re-expand to this point. It's being denied by this single cheeky Marine. In fact, this Zergling could deal with it if he knew it was there. That's a lot of Zerglings. This is going to be a mass Baneling strat or simply a massive charge of Zerglings. Looking for +3/+3 on both of that. Another nuke on the way. What the balls? Why are you building Neo Steel frame? What? Alright. Mass Zerglings now charging to try and break this defensive line. That's a huge number of Zerglings coming in. This crackling speed upgrade in there as well. As Strelok is forced to pull back. Zerglings trying to overrun the defenses. They break their way through. Trying to find a way into the natural. A lot of supply depots going down right here. Supply block city. Population Strelok. A lot of Zerglings thrown away in that attack, though. I have to wonder if that was really worthwhile. I know he can replace them. I know, of course, he was clearing supply for something more unpleasant. Forcing a supply drop right there for Strelok. Strelok pushed all the way back into his base. Strelok tried to take the gold. There's another nuke coming down. The question is where? It's coming down on that mineral line. Snute once again very fast pulling off that line. Bare minimum damage coming in. An Ultralisk cocoon might be destroyed. Indeed it was. Cancelled right there. Strelok trying to push out with this huge mixed force. A lot of tanks in the mix. He's going to need that against the number of Ultras that are coming his way. 2 more nukes being built. Turning into quite the unorthodox game right now. Zerglings hanging around, keeping an eye on things, making sure to do absolutely nothing other than die for the swarm. Why are you building 5 changelings at once? I do not know. There are 5 changelings being built. I don't even know where they are on the map at this point. More units moving in. We're looking for a drop right now into the main. A Zergling drop into the main. Lots of infestors coming in right here as well to try and deal with those tanks. He's able to nail down one with the fungal. Can he get the follow-up more to the point? If he can't... Oh, big fungal at the back. Looking nice. A second fungal to follow that one up, clearing out a large number of infantry units. Now trying to kill the Ghost Academies. Another Ghost also destroyed by this little Zergling drop right now. Strelok can't even deploy this base in order to mine the gold. Let's look at his mining situation. He must be almost mined out as naturally is. Really unpleasant, whereas Snute is having no such issues. Admittedly, I think nukes actually killed that hatchery. There were so many of them raining down on it. 1 Ghost Academy killed, 1 nuke denied. And now Strelok looking once again for a big push. Snute, does he have the unit count he needs? Banelings on the way, only a couple of Ultralisks. 5-3 upgrades, very cool. Strelok now looking to apply a really big hard contain in order to protect that gold. He needs to hold on to that if he wants to get back into this game economically. He's pretty much mined out everywhere else at this point. In the meantime, a big Zergling run-by coming in, potentially looking to threaten this third base. It certainly can. Production facilities getting ripped apart. Nuclear launch detected. The question is, where the hell is it? Baneling's charging into this line right now. I assume the nuke's got to be over there. Yeah, I don't know where the nuke is. I can't find the damn thing. Oh my, the contain has now easily been broken there. Did it actually come down this hatchery? I have no idea. There's too much stuff going on at screen at once to try and keep track of this. I wish they showed you on the map where nukes were actually dropping. Blizzard, please add that to a patch. It'll make our lives so much easier. Not for players, just for casters. Like a big nuclear symbol on the minimap. That would be wonderful. And now the gold taking harassment damage right there from these fungal growths. Strelok with a push right there, able to deal with yet another hatchery. Both of these guys decimating each other, but Strelok with a much larger supply count right now. Does he have what he needs to push? Perhaps he does. Looking for the surround of that ghost is able to nail him down easily before it's able to do anything. Now Strelok in a defensive position, a little bit concerned about his gold once again. Doesn't really have to be too worried. Just a mass infester coming out right now from Snute. 11 infestors, 5 more on the way. Strelok also able to deny this hatchery. Now, this is the problem right now for Snute. Snute can't safely mine anywhere. And Snute's looking really mined out right now. A couple of infested Terrans coming in there to force tank fire on his own mineral line. And there is the fungal growth to follow that one up. The problem is that Snute can't really build anything right now. Chasing those away, that's the income for Snute. It's not looking so pretty. A lot of infestors, a big fungal to follow it up. A lot of infestors taken out in the process, though. And thanks to millions of medevacs, he's able to stay alive. Snute is looking mined out at his third right there. He can't expand anyway. He could take the gold, but it's very risky. Now Strelok is looking in a great position. This is really problematic right now for Snute. Not a good look at all. 85 supplied of 188. Strelok's now in a position where he can just push another big fungal to follow that one up. Can he take that entire force out? I think he can. Oh my god! That's 6 or 7 medevacs killed straight away. Devastating right there. Good infestor play. The problem is the infestors are really just delaying the inevitable right now. They're not able to do any good economic harassment. Snute has to expand. Choosing to take it in the left at this point. We just got Strelok building up this monster force. As you can see, Strelok not really big into the upgrades. Likes the mixed marine tank. A nuke going down, and that's going to be in the natural. Or indeed the second natural, whichever you prefer. Down it goes. It's not going to be able to kill anything. Snute was nicely on the ball in that regard. Kills a couple of lava, but that really is about it. Oh, the ubiquitous Queen drop. As you do. There you go. Queen getting a little bit of a helping hand. Queen versus Ghost. This is going to go on for a while. Ghost does win that fight, by the way, unless the drones come to help it out. Look at this nonsense. In the meantime, we've got a massive infestor push looking to move up the center. Another nuke on the way. Lots of infested Terrans raining down. Those tanks are going to be a bit of a problem. Strelok with nice focus fire to try and avoid hitting that. Oh my, infested Terrans. There's your mineral line god. And big fungals right there. Lots and lots of damage. Snute does not want to throw away those infestors, though. He's being a little bit sloppy with them. GG, ladies and gentlemen. He has no money left. An excellent